All right, what's up, everybody? This is PPD. I'm bringing you a draft analysis of a series last week. This was a pretty interesting matchup. You had the battle of ex-teammates. Yeah, there's a decent amount on the line, and it was a pretty contested series. Okay, so getting into the draft analysis, we'll start with Dire has first pick. You can see that they get Beastmaster. The bans from Sad Boys were Timbersaw and Necrophos. These two heroes are incredibly powerful this patch. However, I'm not sure that Necrophos really warrants a first phase ban. Black and Yellow use their first two bans on Void Spirit and Earth Spirit. I mean, Void Spirit's one of Arroyo's. You know, he played this hero a ton last patch, but that hero's not quite as good this patch as it was in previous. And then Earth Spirit as well, which is Z-Freak's, one of Z-Freak's best heroes. So a bit of a respect ban from them. And they go ahead and use their first pick on the Beastmaster, which makes total sense because this hero, if you guys have been watching NA DPC, has been completely dominating and shutting down everyone. With the second and third pick, Sad Boys do go ahead and grab up the Puck and Tiny. Puck is another one of those really top tier heroes that a lot of teams just first pick and put mid. This patch, mid lane is one of the most forgiving lanes because of the abundance of runes. There's just, you know, if you're going bottle first item on mid, you can kind of just first pick that mid hero, rush bottle, and usually come out, you know, somewhere close to 50-50 with just about any other mid laner. They take Tiny, which is a bit of a flex hero, but because they have Puck, that probably means he's going to be support because Tiny is kind of a... I have seen some one position Tiny, but it's usually a 2 position or a 4. Tiny is sometimes seen as a counter to Puck because of his ability to burst, right, and have that toss up. And Puck is, you know, kind of a hero that likes to see stuff coming. So instant disables, Dragon Knight, Lion, Rasa, etc. are all very good against him. But by taking the Tiny themselves, they deny that combo. Tiny also works decently well with Puck because you can throw people out of the Dream Coil to kind of break the leash, which will do tons of damage and stun them for an extended period of time. So we're moving on to the next pick here, Black and Yellow. They opt to take a Lion. Now this is, you know, I was kind of mentioning some of those instant disables. Lion or Tiny was out of the pool because Sad Boys took it, and they go with Lion. And I think this pick is pretty good. Puck just becomes a bit of a easier kill when, you know, you do manage to find him or have vision on him in a team fight. Going into this second phase of bans, we have the Juggernaut ban first from Black and Yellow with a Viper ban from Sad Boys. Usually you can kind of use these bans to almost predict what your opponents are going to pick. They ban Lifestealer, which is a tough hero to gank. Might also mean they want like a melee offlaner. They ban Viper, which means they may want to take advantage of some sort of hero that uses passives like Spectre or Faceless Void. Black and Yellow, they ban Juggernaut, Tidehunter, and then Centaur. Centaur, just a really good hero this patch. Sad Boys still need an offlaner, so that's an okay ban for me. They ban Tidehunter as well. Tidehunter is a bit of a counter to the old Beastmaster, at least. Because of, you know, he's kind of like anti-Zoo, where he can stand in front of a tower and defend it against all the summons that, you know, Beastmaster in his Necrobooks used to bring. But Beastmaster is a very different hero nowadays with the changes to his Aghanim Scepter and his axes. Sad Boys blind pick their offlaner, which is Axe this game. Now this pick is where things kind of went wrong for me with their draft. I think that Axe is and can be a good offlaner in certain games. However, I think that you want to usually play up against like a melee 5 position or have like a ranged 4 with you as well, so you can, you know, be harassing on the side, then your Axe can run over and battle hunger that support, and then your ranged 4 can win the trade up against their position 5. That, or you just kind of commit to wave cutting early and you don't even like play the lane. But people generally like to try to attempt to win their side lanes in this patch. Black and Yellow having the Lion. One of the great things about Lion is it kind of works in both the 4 and 5 role. So you have a lot of flexibility with your next pick. They decide within this position to put Lion as position 4 and to pick Undying. I think this was a great pick because it shows both Tiny and Axe as a potential like dual melee off lane. So Undying is, really excels there because of decay. He can also go like Orb of Venom and really just kind of smack them if he chooses to do so. It's also one of the things I love is when people start picking strength heroes when the other team has Tiny, because even if Tiny is position 4, he is going to at a certain point go for the Blink Dagger, and with that he is going to want to try and burst supports. But if you have a strength support like Undying or Elder Titan or Spirit Breaker, it's likely that you're actually going to be able to survive that combo and get your spells off. And sometimes, that can be all the difference, right? Do you get your spells off or don't you, between a won and lost team fight? All right, so these guys still need their other support, probably a position 5, unless they're planning to switch the puck to position 5, which I don't believe they do. And yeah, they take Snapfire. Snapfire is a very, very popular position 5. Currently, the ultimate does tons of damage, and the changes to Little Shredder have made it a much better laner, I guess you could say. Also, the one thing that's cool about Little Shredder and versus this Undying is that you will be able to kill his Tombstone very, very quickly. Snapfire is great against Undying and Phoenix or Egg for the same reasons, but it's also very useful for dewarding. So in that sense, the Little Shredder can be useful in just about every single game. So black and yellow with their 4th pick. This is the strongest pick for Radiant. They get to see the most information. They get to pick a hero, and then they get to ban 2 that maybe counter it. They decided to go with Medusa. This is a hero that can. It's a ranged hero, so I think that just because it's a ranged hero, I think it's going to have a decent time laning with Undying in the safe lane. It's a pretty tanky hero, so you can kind of survive the Tiny combo. And also maybe like the Puck Dream Coil. You do have like a counterplay, like if you do get coiled on Medusa, you could pop Stone Gaze, which might deter like further initiation from your opponents. But yeah, this is probably more so just a comfort pick for Envy. It's a hero he's probably feeling this patch, and felt like he could get away with it in lane versus Axe. And yeah, I'm inclined to agree. So they use their final 2 bans trying to eliminate what they think Sad Boys might pick for their 1 position carry. They first get rid of the Slark, which has, because of the stat steals, is notoriously good against Medusa, who likes to take long fights. Sad Boys bans Mars, which I think is sort of a bad ban, just because I think what they should be doing is banning heroes that are going to limit their hero pool on last pick. So these guys are going to pick their offlaner, and they're going to try and pick a hero that says no to as many carry heroes as possible. And the carry heroes that this 5th and final pick doesn't deal with are hopefully the ones that they use their bans on, and the pick itself can kind of be a block pick for other carries that are maybe to come for the Sad Boys. They use their final ban on Lycan. I guess just worried about the cheese factor. Undying and Lion are both pretty bad against Zoo, and Lycan does also kind of struggle against Dusa. Sad Boys would have a bit limited of carry and scalability, but Fear does love his Lycan, so I could see them maybe going for that. They ban out CK as a potential offlaner. That's a bit surprising, but it does serve as some sort of counter initiation, I suppose. Once you get the Aghanim Scepter on the offlane CK, could help disrupt the Medusa and be the difference maker in her surviving an initiation. With their final pick, they go Slardar. I think Slardar, it can and is a pretty good hero. You're up against a melee support Tiny, so boom, you've got another tanky strength hero that can survive Tiny combo. You're up against Snapfire, which is a ranged hero, but it's a short ranged hero, so he's going to be somewhat in your vicinity if Lion manages to lock him down. So no matter what Sad Boys is going to pick here, they're going to need to pick something that can beat up on a Slardar. Otherwise, Slardar is probably going to have his way in the lane. I think Slardar does a great job as a hero of dissuading people from picking melee carries who obviously can't trade up against the Slithering Crush and the Bash. So I do think that and it also does kind of like amp up your Dusa as well, right? So it's a little bit of synergy on your side as well, so you're not just totally screwed by the final pick here that Sad Boys might go with. And they go with Razor as their final pick. I was watching this draft live, and I was really, really disappointed in this pick. I think that they probably felt sort of trapped, that they needed a hero that could lane against Slardar and kind of crush him, but at the same time they had already picked the Snapfire for Mu, so now they don't really have like a great like melee carry to pair with the Snapfire. And I think that the biggest mistake in this draft was probably Sad Boys not using those final 2 bans. They used them on Mars and CK rather than banning out Slardar, or maybe Tidehunter was already out of the pool. But yeah, banning a hero that is going to stop you from picking that melee hero that you want to pair with your position 5 for optimal lane synergy. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the draft analysis. I'll see you next time.